This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Chargers are the first NFL team to open training camp. The Chargers are scheduled to conduct full workouts today in El Segundo. First day of training camp for the Rams is Tuesday, July 22nd at Loyola Marymount. Hall of Fame basketball player Oscar Robertson was given the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage last night at the ESPYS, the sports world's version of the Academy Awards. LA native Russell Westbrook presented the award to Robertson. Robertson, now 86, was the first black president of a sports labor union. The 12-time NBA All-Star was president of the NBA Players Association when the players won an antitrust lawsuit against the league in 1970. The victory led to free agency and higher salaries. The average salary for an NBA player today is $11.1 million. The league minimum is $1.1 million. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we aim to foster enlightening, sustainable, restorative dialogue, and we welcome unapologetically progressive viewpoints that empower fellow citizens. We are now accepting submissions for KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorials like this one.
For the KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorial, I'm Martin Gordon, chair of the Pasadena Community Coalition. Recently, I listened to a Tavis Smiley show conversation with James Farr. James said something that caught me off guard. Black Altadena is gone. My community is being murdered. I said murdered.
All you have to do is go to our website homepage at KBLA1580.com and click on the icon that says KBLA Guest Editorials to learn more about our editorial standards and content submission guidelines. As long as the topic aligns with our mission, we are happy to review your submission and consider it for broadcast. We can't make any promises, but we want to amplify progressive perspectives that are community-focused and solution-oriented. So, go to KBLA1580.com right now to download all the information you need about our guest editorials. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
First things first.
Things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule. 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not 2 and 7. Let's go. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Tavis Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. The show is called First Things First. And my first thing, giving thanks, giving praises, and asking for blessings from God, asking for the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. Got a lot to talk about, got a lot to do. So, happy Thursday. On a Thursday, this is how the show goes. Hour 1, we look local, what's going on the left coast side of town. Hour 2, we go national, international, and beyond. In the third hour, we do a deep dive, hot topic, important person, someone you might want to know. The way this show happens, you are always invited in at 800-920-1580. That means you can comment on what we're talking about, if we're just wandering, as I sometimes do. You can chime in, just bring something up. Always want to know what's on your mind and what is important to you. Today, we will be, in the third hour, we'll be talking with a Reiki master and learning about how to keep our energy right and keep ourselves well and healthy in this environment that we're in. am starting to bring back, I used to do a Wellness Wednesday when I had the front page. Not bringing that back because we're doing the Wealth Building Wednesday, but you're going to see and hear from more wellness people. We had Dr. Wallace with a great convo about skin disease that's going around and other ailments of the skin. If you missed it, you can catch the podcast wherever you get your pods for free. It's also up on YouTube, where we stream every day at KBLA 1580, KBLA 1580 on YouTube.com. So we'll do that. Our second hour will be joined by political scientist and Black Lives Matter Grassroots Executive Director, Dr. Melina Abdullah. And we're going to unpack some of the cases that are going on around the nation of police violence, but also the incredible convening that they had to celebrate their 12th anniversary. Wild that there are now 51 chapters of Black Lives Matter Grassroots, more than ever in history, in a time when folks want to pretend like there's no activism going on. So a lot of good things to talk about right now. It's me, you, and the microphone, telephone, 800-920-1580. Me, you, and this YouTube chat where the conversation stays pretty strong in the comments, right? And you can see me if you want to. I can hear you, can't see you, but you're always welcome to call me. 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580 is the number. So I said that in order to go through all of these news stories that can be depressing, enraging, discouraging, that I feel like we need to take a pledge every day to be fearless, because I don't want to be the reason that you're all stressed out or feeling overwhelmed or feeling, discouraged. A lot of people are scared, and I think the fear may be the problem. I mean, it's not the only problem, but it's a big problem because like the book Dune said, fear is the mind killer. So I want to get to some quotes about fear, get to our own pledges about fear. Audre Lorde says, when I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid. When I dare to be powerful. Now, you know that oftentimes I'll end the show with a quote. And I think we need to have either a quote, a pledge, or a reminder every day that no matter what we talk about in here, no matter how crazy town, how funny, how stupid, how completely unhinged things are in our country, in the White House, in the halls of Congress, that we will be fearless. So that's why I'm going to start adding that in somewhere in our first hour every day. As a reminder to me, as much as it is to you, that we are not going to be intimidated, we will not be afraid, and we will be fearless. Fearless and effective. Fearless and effective, those are my goals. Audre Lorde said, when I dare to be powerful, right, to stand in my power, when I dare to be powerful, to use my strength, whatever your strength is. We all have strengths. To use my strength in the service of my vision of freedom, my vision of justice, my vision of progress. Then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid. I love that so much. So that's our Be Fearless pledge for today. Join me if you want. If you don't, I get it. But I feel like it's important for us to level up our fearlessness right now. And I plan to do so. It's like when you're thinking about doing something scary, jumping into a pool off of a high diving board, or doing something you've never done before, maybe stepping into the boxing ring with a sparring partner, something that you've never done before. It takes a minute, and then you just say, hell with it, I'm going for it. I'm jumping in, I'm jumping off, I'm going to push myself. And I feel like that's what I'm doing every day now. What? come from a long line of fearless warriors, and so do you. Take the plunge. Take the plunge. I see the LA Times is back at it again. Perhaps they're worried that our Mayor Karen Bass, is bouncing back a little bit too much, that people are relating to her too well as she has stared down the Trump administration over these ICE raids, these ICE outrages of grabbing people off the streets. Maybe it's that. I know when we first had the fires, a lot of folks said, and some still do, well, she's cooked. She won't get reelected. Elon Musk is attacking her. Trump is attacking her. Random white ladies like Khloe Kardashian are attacking her, even though they don't know anything about politics and they don't even know what they're talking about. And I think her leadership during this second disaster of 2025, major disaster, has really helped people to see that she is a cool-headed, strategic leader, experienced leader who's worked at the city, the state, and the federal level. She was the first black woman to lead a state house in the country as Speaker of the Assembly in the state of California during the Schwarzenegger years, which was a Republican era in California, if you can think back that far. Was a member of Congress for many years under both Republican and Democratic administrations. Knows where the bodies are buried, knows where the levers of power are, and created and led the Community Coalition of South LA, which is one of our most effective, impactful community-based organizations. If you're from LA, if you pay attention, Community Coalition has done a lot of great things. She started that organization. They have different components. So my point is that the LA Times, under the leadership of Patrick Chung, their South African-born billionaire owner, has been punching and kicking and prying and pulling the hair, the rather short natural, of our mayor at every opportunity. I feel like they had to lay off for a little bit because of the ICE raids, but they are back at it today. 6 months, says the headline, after the fire. Has Mayor Karen Bass done enough for the Palisades? That's the headline. We are way ahead of schedule in permitting, in cleaning up, in rebuilding. And their question is, has she done enough? There's no mention of whether the governor's done enough, Congress has done enough. There's no mention of whether anyone has done enough for Altadena. I haven't seen that headline about Catherine Barger, the conservative Republican on the Board of Supervisors. 6 months after the fires, do we know why black people didn't get any notification, emergency notification? As the accountability is fine. Everyone needs to be accountable. Republican, Democrat, black woman, not black woman. Everyone needs to be accountable. I get that. I'm fine with that. But the fact that they are constantly picking on her with these kinds of stupid headlines so that people who don't even read the article know where they stand. Bass has confused residents and made her own path harder with the seemingly haphazard approach to delegating authority. Really? Well, then why are we ahead of fire recovery for any other major disaster in the state of California? Her political image was badly bruised in the wake of the fires, but she's compensated amid a string of historically good headlines. So they characterize it as a string of good headlines, even though they're not coming from the LA Times for the most part. Instead of saying a string of accomplishments that caused those headlines, not that. It's just the headlines, as if they existed in a vacuum. Your agenda is showing, Mr. Patrick. Your agenda is showing. And then they're talking about how she stood up to ICE and and went to MacArthur Park and all that. And they're saying it as if it's not part of her job as a leader of this city, which is pretty snarky. But where are we? Where are you? Because I've been hearing that, some dissenters among black folks, and I think many times it's not a talking point Tuesday, but it can be a talking point Thursday. They're repeating things they've heard without actually looking at the evidence of where we are and what's happening, and the fact that the real critique of our mayor had to do with her not being in the country when the fire broke out, and then the conversation or the whole handling of the so-called fire czar, which really should go on Steve Soboroff, who was getting in the press and undermining what the mayor was saying and just trying to make himself look like a hero. I don't know what he was doing. He was not on the same page. This was a terrible and is a terrible and massive disaster. But I feel like we have to be clear on these talking points and where this agenda is coming from. It's still the billionaire Republican agenda. Disguise it however you want. And please read between the lines. Love to hear your thoughts at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. That's the number if you want to say a thing or hop on YouTube. I'm Dominique DiPrima for KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward. We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Zoe Williams, a.k.a. the Voice of Reason, encouraging you to join me weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. for the world's most intriguing relationship radio roundtable. Every night, I facilitate and encourage our loyal listeners to participate in the most engaging relationship discussions you'll hear anywhere. So make it a point to rendezvous with me, Zoe Williams, the Voice of Reason, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Trust me, your relationships will never be the same. The VOR is on fire tonight.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind: to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-687-7979. That's 800-687-7979. 800-687-7979.
Hi, I'm Jesse Jackson Jr., inviting you to join me weekdays at 12 noon, right after Tavis Smiley, here on KBLA Talk 1580. As a law school graduate and a theologian, with a firm grasp of our body politic given almost 2 decades in Congress, my show is the fresh new home of an authentic, uncompromised quest for transformation and salvation, both personal and collectively, as I vigorously interrogate the theological and symbolic meanings embedded in our society. I promise to leverage my knowledge of history, theology, and both international and domestic issues to imagine an inclusive vision for the future, which I hope will inspire all of us to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as a given, not just an aspiration. So join me weekdays at 12 noon right after Tavis Smiley for 2 hours of the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show, only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
They have arrested a suspect in the murder of a little boy who was found near a dumpster in Panorama City. A little 5-year-old African-American child, just adorable baby. His name was Elijah Hearn, and the suspect is the mama's ex-boyfriend. And I guess there's a second suspect as well. Her dad, the mama's dad, says he felt like the guy did it. He's being held on $2 million bail. And there is a beautiful memorial, flowers and such being set up there. Really, really so sad. And I just bring it up to say, well, first of all, to say his little name, Elijah Hearn. But also, man, we have to protect our babies from our lives, right? Folks make fun of me. My baby's now big and grown. My baby's a teenager in college. But folks used to make fun of me when he was small because I always was so protective, so particular about who I'd leave him with or who I'd let come around him. So rest in peace to that little one. Really sad. I guess the high-speed rail is on hold. The Trump administration has now canceled $4 billion in money that was supposed to be for the high-speed rail. Not a surprise here. Republicans have been consistently against this, and the price tag is going higher, higher, and higher. But I am for the high-speed rail because the ability to get from the Bay Area to L.A. By public transportation in a low amount of time opens up a ton of opportunities for people, for low-income people, black people, Latino people, and all the stops in between, which are low-income folks who may be, a lot of white folks that need opportunity, that would have benefited from that are benefiting even from the building of it. It was supposed to be, the goal was to have it up and running by 2020, and it's a $128 billion project now, in counting. But the Trump administration is pulling that federal funding. And the governor said Trump wants to hand China the future. That's an interesting way of looking at it. I love Newsom the troll, by the way. I've been critical that I felt he, and sometimes feel he's doing too much as far as his presidential ambitions. But Newsom the internet troll, Newsom the clapback king, I'm actually enjoying that side of the governor as he's been going hard on Twitter and other platforms, not just at the president, but other members of the administration. Let's go to Ira calling us from L.A. Hi, Ira.
Good morning. Thank you. And we're always here to protect black women. Look, Karen's political career has been cooked in the Palisades fire.
Do you know her personally?
That's why she's giving illegals.
Ira.
That's why she's giving illegals reparations.
Ira, you can make your point. She's not giving illegals reparations, but why do you know her personally?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So you know her on a first name basis. Like you've kicked it with her, like you can call her by her first name. You don't need to be respectful and say Mayor Bass. You don't need to do that.
No. We haven't had lunch together, but we've worked on projects in the past. I've worked in committees in the past with her.
I actually have had lunch with her, and I call her Mayor Bass. That's why I'm asking.
That's your name is Dominique. My name is Ira. There's a
You're disrespectful. There. I'm respectful. Wow, imagine that. Go ahead.
Her name is Karen.
Her name is.
What do you mean?
Mayor Bass. To you.
Oh well, you're supposed to call her honor.
You could the honorable Mayor Bass, yeah, would be good, or Madam Mayor. Any of those would work for me. Anyway, you're making a false claim that she is giving reparations to immigrants, which is not true. She has allowed private donors to offer help assistance to those whose family members have been illegally detained by ICE. That is not the same as reparations.
and yet scoffed at giving reparations to black people at the same time.
She hasn't scoffed at that. What are you talking about? Be specific. Under her administration, the city of Los Angeles just released a comprehensive reparations report. So that's a lie, actually. Well, that's the first step, my dear.
Black people need the money.
No, right now what we're in the step where the commission has finished its preliminary work, and now the city council will get the report and they will vote on those recommendations. In other words, it's moving through the process. So scoff is actually untrue.
Blacks could have gotten reparations philanthropically the same way that the illegals are. It could have been headlined by Her Honor.
But why did you lie? Why did you say she scoffed at it when in fact it's going through the process in the city faster than many other municipalities? Because you have an agenda. What's the real reason you don't like our mayor?
There is no. It's not me not liking her. It's just
clearly
the
it is.
Truth. The LA Times themselves have said it. She was asked by a reporter about reparations for black people. She scoffed and turned her back on the
they
reporter.
lie too,
She's
because
clearly
they have an agenda against the mayor. I just outlined that. The South African billionaire owner of that is the one who decided no more endorsements right when it was time to endorse Kamala Harris, and he's been on a tear trying to take down our mayor. That's not a credible source when it comes to her. Clearly, because what they said is not true. Anyway,
he's doing good.
It's interesting to me that you call here and you say, you always say, we protect black women, and then you almost consistently always attack them, either me or some other one, Kamala Harris, Mayor Bass. So which black women are you protecting?
Only the true black women that we protect. The black adjacent women, they can handle themselves, or rather, let their mates handle them. Kamala's not even black. She's married to a Jewish gentleman. Why don't you ask the Jewish faction to give you protection?
So you're the arbiter of who's black? You get to decide who's black? It's up to you?
What? No, Kamala isn't black. We know that. Her father's still alive.
She's black.
He's a 90-year-old professor up at Stanford.
And he's black.
Nobody's even bothered to talk to him.
Oh, yes, they have.
Indian.
He's black,
my
dear.
Interviewed the man.
He's black and Jamaican. So you know what, Ira? I try to be fair, and I put you on this mic, and then you do it time and time again. I'm open to other opinions, but what you don't get to do is lie on my platform. So have a nice day, sir. Thanks for calling. I appreciate you listening. But just getting on and just making stuff up. No, you can say, this is my opinion. I don't like this lady for the following reasons. But you don't get to come on here and call the Honorable Mayor Karen Bass, me, or Kamala Harris black adjacent. You don't get to define other people. You don't get to pretend that you're protecting black women when you're really attacking us. That's not what you get to do on KBLA. Ira called 800-920-1580. You may do the same as long as you're speaking truth, unapologetically. Progressive, KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Outrage in Nassau County as a Brooklyn man who secretly recorded patients and staff in Long Island hospital bathrooms gets just 5 years probation.
Over 300 plus videos we have, and you treat that with probation? I think it's wrong.
Despite a DA push for jail time, the judge said she found Sanjay Siamaprasad remorseful. A new report shows Mississippi leads the nation in mortgage denials for black applicants. In Jackson, 34% were rejected in 2022, nearly triple the overall rate. Credit history and debt-to-income ratio were the top reasons cited. And Anna Mae Robertson, one of the last surviving members of the all-black female World War II unit known as the 688, has died at 101. The unit sorted a massive amount of backlogged mail for U.S. troops in Europe. Their story was told in Tyler Perry's Netflix film, 688. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Joe Buck and John Smoltz welcoming you back to the City Center Convenience Mart. Uh-oh. She's looking at the cigarettes, but she just grabs the gum off the counter. Stand Up to Cancer and Rally want you to reduce your risk for cancer. Go to takeahealthystand.org.
Is this the takeover? This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Chargers are the first NFL team to open training camp. The Chargers are scheduled to conduct full workouts today in El Segundo. First day of training camp for the Rams is Tuesday, July 22nd at Loyola Marymount. Hall of Fame basketball player Oscar Robertson was given the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage last night at the ESPYS, the sports world's version of the Academy Awards. LA native Russell Westbrook presented the award to Robertson. Robertson, now 86, was the first black president of a sports labor union. The 12-time NBA All-Star was president of the NBA Players Association when the players won an antitrust lawsuit against the league in 1970. The victory led to free agency and higher salaries. The average salary for an NBA player today is $11.1 million. The league minimum is $1.1 million. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
All I need is one mic.
With the KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorial, I'm Martin Gordon, chair of the Pasadena Community Coalition. Recently, I listened to a Tavis Smiley show conversation with James Farr. At one point, James said something that caught me off guard, not because it wasn't true, but because it is. Black Altadena is gone. I know it may seem stupid and non-productive, but I stopped in that moment listening to Tavis and James. I broke down and cried. In the back of my mind, I told myself we can bring it back like it was. But James Farr's reality check hit me like a ton of bricks. My community is being murdered. I said murdered, not by the Altadena Eaton Canyon fire, but by the people we elect to protect us, and by greedy and gatekeeping nonprofits who cannot see the forest for the trees. For the first time since the fire, I truly feel and understand my wife's inconsolable pain. Because I'm struggling to find a path to recovery and at least some form of normalcy. My community is crumbling right in front of my face. Lack of funding to rebuild is slowly destroying us. Many of us can no longer hold out, and developers are gobbling up our property. When I hear voices like Tavis Smiley and James Farr speak truth to power on KBLA Talk 1580, it reminds me that we're not crazy, just unheard. Make no mistake here, KBLA delegation, this is war, and we the people of Black Altadena are losing. It's like waiting for reparation. Not gonna happen, brother. In this new orange man world, no one, no entity is persuaded by right or wrong. There is no consequence for doing the wrong thing, and no accolades or support for doing the right thing. Will war-torn Black Altadena survive? Your guess is as good as mine. But what have I got to lose? I'm in my 70s and don't have time to wait. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once suggested that riots break out when people have no hope. But there's nothing left to burn down in Altadena. I wish I could say I remain hopeful that my beloved community will rise again like a phoenix from the ashes. I wish I could. With a KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorial, I'm Martin Gordon, chair of the Pasadena Community Coalition. Pasadena Community Coalition at gmail.com. Reach out to me. As always, we welcome your feedback.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, thanks for waking up with me. Thanks for waking up with Miles. And thanks for waking up. That's the main thing. We are up. We are in these streets. We are outside. I am intentional and afraid of nothing. Yeah, we're doing that. We're affirming our fearlessness no matter how crazy things get. And you're invited in 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. I posed the question this morning, is the mayor bouncing back? I remember when y'all were saying she's cooked, and apparently Ira feels that way. But I think she could cure cancer, balance the budget, and, and win an Olympic gold medal, and it wouldn't be enough for him. In any case, my point is, I said a lot can happen in 6 months. Keep in mind, this re-election is next year, which is right around the corner. I can't believe we're tearing through 2025. 2026 is on the horizon. That's midterm elections. That's mayoral election, governor race. Yeah, we back at it. So it's time to start thinking about this. And I believe that talking point he threw in there that she's giving reparations to illegal immigrants, which number one is BS. But I think that's what they're going with. And we have to be understanding and mindful of what the real situation is, which is private donors are funneling money through the mayor's office to people directly impacted by ICE kidnappings. It's not just handing out money, taxpayer money. None of that is happening. So let's nip that little talking point in the bud. Going to Dwight, straight out of Compton. Good morning, Dwight.
Good morning, Dominique, Hotep, and thank KBLA for giving us facts and truth, and not these lies and propaganda and Republican Fox News talking points. Because Mayor Bass is doing everything she can to make our city as great as it can be, and she's also taking on Palisades, taking on Altadena, taking on Pasadena. I mean, these are other areas that she technically doesn't have responsibility for, but she's still reaching out to help them too.
Well, she does have responsibility for Palisades. To be clear, Pacific Palisades is part of L.A., even though it seems like another world of wealthy, swanky West Side. But it is part of L.A., and it is part of her job.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But Dominique, these Republicans constantly blame black people and immigrants for all the problems of America, so they can take the focus off of their accountability for all the things that they are doing. Technically, President Trump shouldn't even be president, because the 14th Amendment says if you attack the government, you cannot hold any government office. So that's all taken off. And these 6 Republican Supreme Court justices gave him immunity for attacking the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, gave him immunity for taking classified documents back to his house and refusing to give it. They gave him over a year to give them back, and he still held them in the bathrooms, on stages in different places of Mar-a-Lago. And then he gave $70 billion to ICE, which is more than the CIA, the FBI combined, and more than a lot of armies of certain countries. So they take all that and give billionaires tax cuts by taking people off of Medicare, off of Medicaid, destroying the Department of Education, and then ending U.S. aid to African starving people and giving medicine to HIV victims around the world. And just hurting our own farmers, because a lot of food just rotted there, sit there and rotted. And these Republicans constantly point fingers at whatever they can to take the focus off of what they're doing.
Yeah.
Dominique, it's so sad.
I mean, that's one of the reasons why I like our Governor Newsom. The fact that, he responded to a tweet or a truth by Trump where he says, he's making Coca-Cola put real sugar back in the product and it's going to taste better.
Yeah.
And Newsom responds by saying, "Oh, I'm so relieved. Now I'm not thinking about Epstein at all."
They point the finger on little tit-tat stuff, that to keep the real focus of the fact that they ended abortion health care, which a lot of women are going to die from just having miscarriage. They ended voting protection for mostly Republican-controlled states, and they're ending just so many things that are vital for the American people. Educating our kids. I mean, you destroy, and and then they allowed Elon Musk to go in and hack our personal data from government computers, and then they're still attacking us by taking funding that could go to
all
so
true.
many.
Well said. Come on and land for me, Dwight. Where are we going with this train? Where are we going with this train of troubles?
Okay, Dominic. Just stay focused on the main. If your house is burning down, don't worry about your grass getting cut. Okay, our democracy is burning down. So let's focus on the main thing, and then not be distracted by Republican talking points. Thank you, Dominique, for all the great things you and KBLA are doing. Thank you, Dominique.
Yeah, I love that, Dwight. You're always focused on resistance. You are obviously paying attention to where everything is going in the news and what this administration is doing. But you stay focused on making the main thing, as Jewel Diamond Taylor would say. And it is hard because they are flooding the zone with a lot of things. To your point about voting rights, in the middle of all the Epstein stuff, that can be a distraction too. Even though it's a welcome distraction because it's a fight that the president is losing that is forcing him to be accountable for his own sleazy past. But the Department of Justice has been going after states, calling for them to turn over their voter rolls. Forget the Epstein list. They want voter lists, and which is terrible because, number one, they can target voters. They can purge people from the rolls. And also, that could be used, unethically used, to help the Republicans hold on to the House and the Senate in the 2026 election. They are sending out requests to get voter lists, data about voters, and inspect voting machines, which has never, ever been something the federal government has the power or authority to do. The voting systems are managed and maintained by states. They are state apparatus. The feds have no business in there, especially cheating feds like Trump. Well, they claim they're trying to investigate what happened in the so-called stolen 2020 election, but it looks like they're teeing up more cheating for 2026. Why do I say more? I am one of those people who believes it is more than likely true that Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and the broligarchs put their thumb on the scale for 2024. I think that. It's statements they've made. It's the way the results came down. I'm speculating. I can't prove it, but that is one conspiracy that I happen to believe. So what are they doing now? They're demanding to, quote unquote, inspect voting machines. Many of these states are resisting so far, but we'll see how long that holds up, right? Just as the Republicans and Democrats resisted, for the most part, Trump's attempts to do things following 2024, and prior to that, the way that they, I don't mean 2024, I mean 2016, the way that they tried to manipulate voting, and then the way they were demanding stuff after he lost in 2020. Well, they're coming back with a vengeance while he has the White House. According to the Washington Post, the most unusual activity is in Colorado. That's a state that Trump lost by 11 points, where a consultant, a so-called consultant who claims to be working with the White House, has demanded to inspect the voting machines. The Department of Justice is saying they need voter information in order to implement an executive order by Trump that would move some power of elections away from the states and over to Washington. This is a major coup attempt to federalize aspects of elections so that they can control things like when you have them, if they allow mail-in voting and what the deadlines would be, what the requirements to vote, i.e. you have to prove your citizenship somehow. All of these things. So far, the courts have blocked that executive order, but the Department of Justice is moving forward with trying to infiltrate, take over, colonize the state voting apparatuses. This is something way more alarming than who's on a list of pedophiles, although that's pretty gross too. And no one's talking about it because we're focused, like you said, Dwight, on so many other things that are happening that may or may not have the relevance of this. And so, yeah, these are the things we are going to focus on. We're going to make sure that at least we know what's happening. Dwight called me at 800-920-1580. I invite you to do the same. And by the way, Paul said in the chat, and he's right, we haven't spoken on it, but yes, I saw it. Miami, Florida delayed their 2026 elections. Straight out of the Banana Republic, straight out of the anti-democratic playbook. We'll delay until we feel we have the advantage. I did see that. I believe we'll probably see more of it. But we gonna fight back. I am intentional and afraid of nothing. You're listening to First Things First on KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from Nitsa and the Ad Council.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Imagine a Los Angeles where everyone can thrive, where communities have access to the resources they need to succeed. That's the vision of Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. They're dedicated to improving life in LA County by providing educational support, employment assistance, and spaces for community engagement. By 2050, they want LA to be the best place to connect, create, learn, live, and play. They're working toward an education system that's well-resourced and culturally responsive, becoming a hub for artists and innovators, and making sure everyone has access to healthy food, quality healthcare, and safe housing. It's about building a future where we all have the chance to succeed. We invite you to learn more about their mission and get involved with Detours Mentoring Group, Inc. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Let K. Michelle's Kitchen Catering bring your world of flavors to your next event. For all occasions, from casual brunches to office lunches, weddings, and glamour affairs, call us today at 310-819-6213 or go to kmichellekitchencatering.com or on Instagram at kmichelles_kitchen catering or Facebook at Kmichelle's Kitchen Catering. We look forward to cooking for you soon. Call 310-819-6213. 310-819-6213.
Hey man, hey, what's up, bro? What's that station you listening to? Oh man, you don't know? That's Talk Radio, KBLA 1580 AM. Check it out. 1580 KBLA AM. 1580 Talk Radio. Progressive.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're celebrating our 4th anniversary, and this track right here is the gift one of our devoted listeners presented to us.
Where you get some information, get a true education, just to know. Ooh, yeah. 1580.
How cool is that? Having a member of our KBLA delegation write us a song. Stop it! Our listeners love us and there ain't nothing we can do about it. Wouldn't want to. Thanks to Cardell and everybody else for turning on KBLA Talk 1580. We love you right black.
KBLA 1580 Talk Radio. KBLA 1580 Talk
Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
And love winning is all about you. 800-920-1580. 800-920-1580. That's the number. The ESPYs were on last night. I'm not going to lie. I did not watch it. But I do look at the snippets on Instagram. And Simone Biles and her hubby, Jonathan Owens, are just such a cute couple. She got, I think she got a couple, right, Miles? She got, still raking in the awards and accolades as she should as a GOAT. But a lot of people are saying she's giving signals that she definitely retired because she has reshaped her body. Put it that way.
Put on a little weight.
A little weight, is that what you call that?
A little something, little weight up there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think she looks just as fit as ever. She just went up a few cup sizes.
No, shout out to her though, man. Shout out to her for for sticking with it, man. As long as she has in the in that aggressive sport of gymnastics, and she earned it for sure. She showed out in the Olympics.
Do people watch the ESPYs? I mean, is it popular? I don't. Maybe I should watch it. I need to learn more about sports and get my sports game back up. But I know it was, there was, what did I see? I saw Meg the Stallion.
Right, her Clay, that's what's up.
Right. Her and her man. Well, we talked about that yesterday. Is it her man or is it a publicity stunt? I don't know, but either way, they were looking good.
Yeah, shout out to Clay, man. Clay pulling up in Texas with, with some pressure on him. I like it. I like it.
It's funny. I saw a lot of guys, men, commenting on IG, like saying, he's a beast, or they had a Instagram post with all of his exes, and wow, yeah.
Well, that's a champion right there, man, in all aspects of life. Shout out Klay Thompson.
I didn't know men competed like that about women.
What?
I didn't. I mean, I know they like to have women, like, whatever, notches on their belt. But as far as, like, pocket watching other men's love lives, I didn't know men did that.
Yeah, men keep track for sure. For sure keep track. And, they'll bring it up to the woman, try to, I ain't going to tell the men secrets now. But, yeah.
Well, I'm not asking for secrets, but well, yes, I am. But what do you mean by bring it up? I'll try to check if he really...
Or, they'll meet you at a... Meet you out at a party or something, like, oh, okay, yeah, I can get you a better ring than that. I can get you a better chain than that.
I've had men say that to me.
Yeah,
when I used to be married and had a ring, because I had a simple ring. I didn't want like diamonds, because blood diamonds and all that.
They clock it a competition for sure.
Yeah, but I never. Paul says I did know that. Okay, maybe, but not to that extent. Like the way these men are commenting, like, wow.
And they do it with cars, do it with jewelry, do it with, with art pieces, do it, everything.
It's weird to me that brothers do that. They didn't step to you in the first place, but once someone else is with you, that now it's a competition.
Yeah, I mean, and were you checking for them beforehand? I mean, were you in their radar, or are you on their radar now because you're with their competition now?
Yeah, probably. And that's why I think women do that too. It's when a man gets with someone, when he gets married or gets in a real relationship and starts looking a little more well kept, taken care of, all of a sudden the women swarm.
And then you really want to put yourself in somebody else's shoes too. Hey, I can do better than that. I can make your life. Me and you would have a better life than you're having with this person right here.
Yeah, it's crazy how they're talking about the rappers though. Oh, she finally left them dusty rappers alone and stuff. I kind of feel bad for y'all. I don't think it's fair to characterize all rappers in one way.
Right, it's not. But at the same time, because we in this competitive, world we live in. Klay Thompson, he got to cut his fifth contract, max contract. He got long money he's getting from Golden State still. You know what I mean? So yeah. I understand. There's really no comparison when we talking to money.
Yeah, well, that's true, and legendary status, right? I mean, he kind of has legendary status.
You talking about Clay?
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Well, if people are happy or their plan is working, it's all good to me.
Just when you realize that, you did make the mistake, and the athlete is not the guy you think he is or want him to be, and doesn't change in the ways you kind of think he was, and you want to come back to the culture and the music scene and hip hop, you do get looked at a little differently.
I wonder about, I think when you said that, I thought about Eve. Not that she got with the rapper, but she went and married a billionaire, I think.
Eve?
The rapper, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she, I don't know if you've seen her. She's given soft life. I mean, we're gowns and,
Okay. I'm not
designer
mad
bags.
At that.
No, I'm not mad at it either, but I wonder, if she tried to come back, well, she'd still be rich because she would be divorced from a billionaire. E.C. Courtney says it's a chess game. How big is the bag? Yeah, I think that's true for some people. There are many of us for whom that is not true. We just want somebody suitable who actually treats us nicely and is consistent and does what they say they're going to do.
Right.
No, Miles is not a millionaire, but Miles is a catch.
Come on now. Come on, somebody.
And Miles is a rapper.
Millionaire, soon to be millionaire. Millionaire in training, waiting.
Yeah, right, exactly. Millionaire in training. Get him now, because otherwise you'll just be another
chess move.
Yeah, you'll just be another gold digger.
Bishop or a pawn. You won't be the queen, but you'll be, a knight or something.
Right, and the conventional wisdom is once he comes up, he'll leave you for a white girl. Oh. But I don't find that to necessarily be true.
It's more in the athlete space.
Yeah, maybe so. But a lot of them, they got scooped up by that woman before they even got drafted.
Right, yeah.
She was clocking him in college.
Clocking him from the AAU days.
Yeah, they were talking about Sinners and how Sinners was about the Kardashians, maybe. That's, part of, the sunken place was, that really kind of talking about that too. Paul says Eve's whole demeanor changed. It did. It absolutely changed. She's giving billionaire's wife, but that's, that's called adapting to your environment.
That's a level up. Ain't nothing wrong with leveling up.
Yeah. Paul wants to know how old you are. That's between you and. The point is, on contrary to popular opinion, I don't think most of us are just looking for a big bag, unless it's, for just a publicity stunt. I think most of us are looking for compatibility, chemistry, consistency, love, respect. Maybe that's just me. Dr. Melina Abdullah is joining us next. We're talking politics and ending state-sanctioned violence, and you're welcome in. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. Outrage in Nassau County as a Brooklyn man who secretly recorded patients and staff in Long Island hospital bathrooms gets just 5 years probation.
Over 300 plus videos we have, and you treat that with probation? I think it's wrong.
Despite a DA push for jail time, the judge said she found Sanjay Syamaprasad remorseful. A new report shows Mississippi leads the nation in mortgage denials for black applicants. In Jackson, 34% were rejected in 2022, nearly triple the overall rate. Credit history and debt-to-income ratio were the top reasons cited. And Anna Mae Robertson, one of the last surviving members of the all-black female World War II unit known as the 6888, has died at 101. The unit sorted a massive amount of backlogged mail for U.S. troops in Europe. Their story was told in Tyler Perry's Netflix film, 6888. Get BI on the iHeartRadio app.
Joe Buck and John